Hey everyone, it's Kristen. Yes, I'm in this still. I mean, I put it back on for this video because I don't know. I want to, I guess, stretch it out a little bit more. And considering like Rogue and Deadpool have a history, well, I could still say that this kind of works with that. I don't know if you guys remember that Deadpool video game. Rogue was the supporting character, and you could play as her for a while after, she absorbed Deadpool's powers. And of course, Rogue and Deadpool have a little bit of a romantic history, which is still weird to me, but because of course I love Gambit and Rogue together. That will always be like the pairing for me. But so yeah, anyway, so I almost thought about doing this one just because I love the cover. Like the 90s were full of gimmick covers, like this cutout, which I think is really cool, and the foil covers and everything. Which if you've seen the animated series, you've seen Weapon X, Lies, and Videotape. That's what this is based on. And I mean, I think it's really cool. It's a really cool issue, but I think it's definitely a pretty common issue. I will say there's quite a few copies of it everywhere, and it's still really cool. But of course, they've revealed way more about him since this. But it was still really cool at the time because it was 1992, and it was still a peek into his past. You still got to learn more about him, whereas before this, he's still pretty mysterious. You still didn't really know who he was. So, okay, so I thought about Deadpool, and I thought, okay, well, I don't have Deadpool's first appearance. I mean, I have, ironically, Cable's first appearance, which is New Mutants 87, and then Deadpool's is just 2 issues later. I have a couple of his, earlier appearances, but I don't have his first appearance. But of course, that was early 90s by Rob Liefeld. He created Cable, Deadpool, X-Force, Domino, basically that whole universe of characters. And yeah, I don't have Deadpool's first appearance because I was collecting mostly X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, and now, of course, it fetches a pretty good price. So I thought, okay, what else can I do? What else can I show that maybe not everyone's seen before? And I thought of this. This is one of the weirdest comic books I will say I've ever read that I have. Definitely that I have. I mean, of course, I'm sure there's weirder comic books out there that I haven't read, but this is one of the weirdest comic books that I have in my collection. So this was a Wizard, Zero kind of exclusive, and yeah, it's an interesting story. So on the cover it says featuring the lamest dead people of the Marvel Universe, and you'll notice someone on the cover that they actually took and made a really cool character out of, Bucky. Of course, this is 1998, and he didn't become the Winter Soldier in comic books until 2004. And then, of course, he's appeared in the MCU. He was Captain America for a time. So he's become a really cool character. So it's interesting how on here he's one of the lamest dead people in the Marvel Universe. And they took that character and made him a really cool character. So, and what I also forgot is this story starts in Texas, which, as you guys know, that's where I live. That's where I'm from. Um, and it's hot here. You can probably see me like, you know, flushed because it is hot, and I had to turn off the air conditioning because you can't hear me if it's on. You guys know that story. So anyway, it starts in Texas, and Deadpool saying, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's just this. I thought this was funny because it's full of Texas stereotypes. And he says, nothing says America like chicory smoked barbecue goodness. Do it, Haas. And then he goes, well, I reckon a 60% obesity rate of beer foreigners and belligerent Yankee pride might come close, but that would be a mix of metaphors. So yeah, like I said, full of Texas stereotypes. So basically, Deadpool wants the files that this guy has, and he's like a tycoon of some kind. Um, and he offers Deadpool like triple whatever the money is, and he said, "Well, I'm not doing this for money. Um, my friend Al needs an operation, so this is what the doctor wants. So it's a barter system instead." And so he finally says, "Oh my gosh, it's in the bedroom, in the safe, in the wall." And then he leaves him like hanging there. He's like, "You're not going to leave me just hanging here." And the dogs are licking their lips and out for blood. And he's like, "Just pretend you're tofu." Deadpool says, "Nobody likes tofu." And he goes to the bedroom, and it looks like someone's already been there. And it's this guy. And yeah, so this character, like, I don't really know that much about this character. It's this girl called Vamp, and she transforms to this huge guy that has, like super strength and all that stuff. Um, I don't know very much about this character. I looked her up, and there's really not that much on her. Just she appeared in Captain America in 1977. She was like a shield agent or something. Yeah, and this is her last appearance. And I can understand that because I feel like she wouldn't work in today's world. A woman that transforms into a man and gains like super strength and stuff. Um, I just see that being a problem. I see a lot of people having a problem with that in today's world. So this is her last appearance, yeah. And it's just funny how the cab driver says as this, monster is going by, he's like, "Yep, everything's bigger in Texas." So apparently she is working for Aramzola, and he has brought her back because she's a clone to do his dirty work for him. And Deadpool, of course, follows her to here, and Azola is like, "Who is this guy?" And Deadpool says, "Called me old-fashioned, but whatever happened to throwing a telephone to make money?" And he's like, "Do you know that you have a Mac Classic for a head, dude?" And he makes a joke about bringing the Rat Pack members back to do like a tribute special, and he could make a ton of money doing that since he's in the cloning business apparently. So, and Zola's like telling Vamp, "Get him," and Deadpool just knocks her out easily. And he's like, "Okay, fine. Well, I have other, people at my disposal." So he created this whole army of people from DNA he's collected over the years. Like, they're all clones. Like I said, there's Bucky. And this guy, Deadpool calls him the Wizard. And I remember him being in a Spider-Man episode during the 90s where the Red Skull was chasing all these six superheroes from, the World War II era. And one of them, yeah, was the Wizard. But that's really all I know about him. I don't really know that much. I know that he was, created in the 40s, obviously, alongside like Captain America. Um, so yeah, that's all I know really about him. And I don't know most of these people. Like this, I'm guessing is Egghead. And this, I at first glance thought was Mimic, but he doesn't have the Cyclops visor. So I don't know who all these characters are. I didn't know what to look up. So if you know who these are, like any of them, let me know. So yeah, Deadpool's making quips, going through like all these clones, like with no issues, no problems. And Zola's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're, going through my clones like it's nothing. What am I supposed to do now?" And so Deadpool, he finds these two clones laying there, and he's like, wakey, wakey, you don't want to be late to your funeral because he's killing all the clones. Because he's like, well, they're not real people, they're clones. And he sees this. And it's Uncle Ben and Aunt May. And Uncle Ben says, Peter, what have we told you? What have your aunt and I told you about knocking before you come in? And Aunt May's like, don't be so hard on him, Ben. Do you want a cookie? And Deadpool's like, oh my gosh, for making me see that, someone's gonna die. Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. I mean, they didn't show anything in the comic, of course, but still, like, the image in your head is like, oh, okay. And then, um, I thought, yeah, like I said, that guy looked like Mimic because of this picture, because of the wings. And Deadpool says, Warren Worthington, eat your heart out. Do you think if I kept these and slapped an X, on the cover of my book, we would sell more copies? So he just, goes through killing all these random people, like puts grenades in this guy's eyes to get the red out. Just just all kinds of random stuff, random quips, like Deadpool. And he goes after Zola, and he's like, time to die. And Zola's like, wait, no, I have a proposition for you. And so he whispers in his ear, and Deadpool's like, really? Is that legal? Like, you can do that? Okay, you're on. Oh goodness. And so the whole point of this, was he was doing this so he could get Al's surgery for her. And she's like, for once I thought you were gonna, stick me with all the work, make me work with this cast on. And so, but it's turned out okay, but you came through, thanks. And he's like, don't mention it, Al. That's just the sort of good, gregarious guy that I am. Isn't that right? Gwen's 1 through 4. So Zola cloned Gwen Stacy 4 times for him, and all the Gwens say, yes, master, whatever you say, master. So, and, this is pretty typical for him to be, in his Deadpool costume with his, sitting on the couch with his boxers. I mean, I'm pretty sure they even did like an action figure about that, or like that in recent years. I didn't get it, but I mean, I'm trying to only get like one of each character unless they come out with a way better version of that character, which they do a lot. So, I've already broken my rule of only getting one per character, but I'm trying. It's hard though. So then they do, like the sketchbook, sketches from like Deadpool 20, just kind of a preview, which it's kind of cool. I like to see the sketches. I like to see like behind the scenes of stuff. So, yeah, like I said, it's a very weird comic book, weird issue. Yeah, and also, like I said, if you know who any of these are, let me know, because I only know Whizzer because he mentioned him by name, and like I said, I think that's Egghead, and Bucky because Bucky's like super recognizable. Yeah, if you know who any of these people are, let me know, because I didn't even know who to look up because, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny because, Gwen Stacy is like basically Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy are two of the only characters that are really like stayed dead in this universe. Because of course they have other versions of them in other realities, but in this like Marvel universe comic book Earth 616, they're the only two that have actually really stayed dead, and they're both resurrected in this in this comic book. Oh, and I just noticed, if you see on her choker, she has a little Deadpool symbol hanging from her choker. Yeah, so anyway, one of the weirdest comic books in my collection. And you got it, I think, just from buying like one of the issues of Wizard. I can't remember which one, obviously, because I took it out and put it with my comic books. But Yeah, and if you're a kid and you read that, you're thinking, okay, wow. But anyway, so I'm excited about the movie. I've heard all kinds of rumors, all kinds of spoilers. I'm trying not to listen to them, try not to pay attention to that. But if you get on the internet at all, there's always some kind of spoiler, always some person somewhere saying, "Oh my gosh, this is a rumor, this is a rumor." So we will see, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I mean, it's basically, I feel like, going to be just a 2 hour, I don't know how long it is, but a 2 hour movie full of cameos and just, you know, the dynamic between Deadpool and Wolverine, and just, it'll just be fun. So I'm looking forward to it. So I'm sure if you go, once you go, I don't know. I don't really like doing follow-up videos on things that people like are easily accessible, like have um, they can watch for themselves kind of thing. But I don't know. I might. We'll see. Um, but if not, then yeah, find this video and let me know what your favorite part was about the movie. So until then, I hope you join me for the next video. Bye.